Hi, I'm Lily Nguyen and welcome to Global Liner Shipping and Shipping 2030 Asia TV. We're here with Prashanth from BHP Billiton. Very nice to have you here.
Thanks, you.
So, Prashanth, you will be joining a sustainability panel tomorrow on corporate social responsibility and the future of shipping. So, beyond regulations, how could the industry find value in sustainability?
I mean, that's a very broad topic, Lily. I mean, this is the reason the shipping must do something about it and make use of the sustainability goal, because it is a couple of folds. Firstly, it is the regulatory requirement set by the IMO, obviously the sulfur caps and greenhouse gas emissions side of thing. The secondly is the technology and the digital transformation. It is really happening as we speak. And the thirdly is that the future is completely different, that the supply chain continue to grow, and then also shipping is continue to grow. But obviously the way we manage shipping and then the supply chain is completely in a different spectrum, if you like. The future of the, I mean, we all talk about the climate change, we all talk about the Paris Agreement, and we all know that the Paris is not talking about shipping per se. It is talking about the human activities, but shipping is human activities, and we are contributing to the carbon footprint of this, the atmosphere and the earth. So therefore, it's a lot of value that the shipping is going to gain, and there's a lot of opportunities is opening up as well for shipping. So in a nutshell, shipping can't continue to survive in the current form, either because of the cost base or either because of the energy side of things, the greenhouse side, climate change point of view. So it will definitely must consider more broadly to move to the next stage, which is obviously the technology is going to help us to move to that direction. And also the thinking is changing, because it's not anymore a traditional shipping. It's now a sustainable shipping and a green shipping. And then people talk about autonomous ships, and the whole world is moving towards that. But obviously there are a few challenges, things like regulatory challenges. But I think in due course we will see a lot of difference and changes in this spectrum for a common good. That's the way I put it.
So future MEPC talks will be expanding on the decarbonisation issues, but it will also touch upon other things like ballast water management, biofouling, ocean plastics. It's coming in. So what is the role of shipping in the global effort to become more sustainable?
The shipping play a significant role in the global aspect of the emission controls, as well as the plastics that you mentioned, and also the biofuel side of thing, and biofouling, and that is at a anti-fouling it's a big ticket items, because if you really look at that, the MEPC, that is the central or the peak body that regulate the shipping. The MEPC is actually a committee, sits within the IMO structure, and then IMO is the umpire for all shipping. So therefore, MEPC's responsibility to bring out all the member states to put forward what was agreed in the Paris Climate Change Agreement, and then we can go on Bernie Agreement and also the Kyoto Protocol Agreement. But I think it's fair to say that the MEPC is bringing a lot of experts, a lot of member states. They all have the voice. And then eventually the big flag states like Marshall Islands, Panama and Cyprus. And they all have to take it back to their ship owners and members to make it happen. And coastal states such as, we used to do this ICA region for a very long time, but now China is looking into that, how we can make that their coastal states protected. I mean, there are a lot of studies made. 70% of the greenhouse gas is emitted within 200 nautical miles of a coastal state. So you can imagine that the number of coastal states are very concerned, and particularly all the expensive beach houses and whatnot. They are not very happy about to breathe. They think that they are breathing the fresh air, but apparently it's not. So there's a lot of community pressure on the coastal states to make some difference in the way that they live those places. I mean, in Sydney, I can give you a lot of examples how the expensive houses are coming up, and the cruise liner industry is growing in Australia. And all these cruise liners emit exhaust gases, and people are kept complaining about it. And that is a real concern. You know, one hand you have to look at the community, on the other hand you have to promote cruising. So the only solution is you just have to be sustainable. You just have to consider the community expectation. I mean, it is a growing concern, and I think it will change eventually. The change management is the thing that we are discussing. The cost is always an issue. At the end of the day, we all have to play the share role and play the equal level playing field, I should say.
So how have digital technologies been able to help shipping become greener?
Oh, that's excellent question, Lily, because digital technology, I know people just talk about technological advancement, digital transformation in a general sense, but in shipping, it is not only looking at the sustainable side of things, but it's also helping the owners to look at their cost base and more efficient and effective in terms of how they run the business. I mean, just to give you an example, by looking at the AIS tracks of the ship and looking at the voyage management data, collecting the data, you could almost identify, well, there are a lot of areas you could reduce the sea distance between port A and port B. And then also you can look at that, well, you know, I have to be at this port at this particular time. There is no point of me steaming at a high speed, for instance. You reduce your speed. I mean, that's all, it's not an imaginary thing. This is all happening now. So it's just that we have all the data. We don't have the right interpretation or right looking at the collection of the final product yet. So that's the challenge. But I think the technology is going to change the whole industry. I mean, even autonomous ships, for example, you know, the future seafarers are going to live in a control center operating, and they can spend the night with their families, and they are not going to be away from that. We don't talk about the homesick or family sickness and the fatigue. It's a normal office-based workers. So that is fantastic. So basically you are socially responsibly, morally responsibly, environmentally sustainable. We are talking about not anymore diesel-powered ships. It will be a solar-powered, battery-powered ship. So how nice that's going to be for us. Yes, it is. The technology is available. It's just a matter of rolling out and regulating it, managing it. It's a challenge. It is a journey. We're all part of that journey, I guess.
Prashanth, thank you very much for being here with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Pleasure to invite me.